Welcome to Nullplayer Paradox. I believe every game deserves a fair judgment, so to find the reality behind the hype, I break every title down across at most 12 categories, from technical stability and game feel to the emotional weight of the story. These weighted scores converge into a final percentage that tells us exactly where this game sits on the spectrum. Is it a timeless masterpiece or just an unstable code masquerading as a game? Let's get into the breakdown for Hell Is Us. Before diving into the main review, I just want to quickly thank you all for an amazing response and support on my last video about optimizing settings for games on your PC. Thank you, and let's start. I'm Castigator and I have spent 23 hours diving deep into the world of Hell Is Us. This game is a third-person action-adventure title developed by Rogue Factor and published by Nacon. It is available on Windows, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. The story takes place in a country called Hadia, which is torn apart by war. You play as a soldier named Remy, who returns home trying to find his parents and learn about his past. The world is suffering from a civil war and at the same time suffering from a supernatural event called the Calamity, which created monsters known as Hollow Walkers. Since guns do not work on these monsters, you must use a drone and melee weapons like swords and axes to stay alive. When it comes to how the game runs, I found the performance to be very smooth and well optimized. I played with all settings on Ultra and used DLSS set to DLA. While the game looks great and runs well, I did see some rare frame drops in a few places. I also noticed some vegetation popping in and shadows flickering at times. I did not experience any crashes at all, which is a big plus. However, I did find some minor bugs where I would get stuck on invisible objects in my path or drop loot glitching at times, making me unable to pick them up. These glitches were short-lived, but they are worth mentioning for a full picture of the technical side. The world design in this game is truly something special. The environments are big and detailed and they spread out in many directions. Everything feels like it was made by hand with lot of care. The maps are interconnected like a maze, which makes moving around feel like a real journey, especially since this game does not hold your hand with a mini-map or quest markers. The game rewards you for being curious and it actually forces you to explore because, like I said, there are no mini-maps or quest markers. You have to listen to people, gather and study clues and look at your surroundings to find your way. If you enjoy this type of deep exploration, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so you do not miss any of my future deep dives. The story and the characters are where this game really shines for me. The plot is deep and thoughtful as it looks at the monsters that live inside humans too. It shows the effects of hatred and war on regular people in a way that feels very real and emotional. The characters you meet are dark and interesting. Their voices and designs show their pain and desperation perfectly. While most characters are strong, a few of them might feel a bit simple compared to others. The sound design is also amazing and helps you feel like you are really there. The voiceovers are high quality and the music and ambient sounds make the world feel alive and heavy with emotion. Overall, every single second of this game is quite dark and psychological. I also really loved the cutscenes and how it portrayed everything. Also the fact that I was unable to expect when a certain cutscene would start, and there are quite less too in the game. So every cutscene turned out to be really exciting and special in the overall gaming experience. The gameplay feels very nice and is very fun if you are a patient person. The combat takes some ideas from games like Dark Souls, but it is much more manageable and easier to enjoy. I played on medium difficulty and had an easy time for most part of the game until the very end when it got a bit harder. The controls are mostly responsive and punchy, however I did have some moments where the attack button or the finisher move would not work even when the prompt was on the screen. It was a bit annoying, but it did not happen often enough to stop the fun. I also found that some ladders are very long and I wish I could slide down them faster, especially when you realize that there are a lot of ladders in the game everywhere. There is a good amount of customization for your weapons and gear. You can change your hood and your cap and your loadout, which all show up in the story scenes. I loved that the look of the weapons changes when you upgrade them with elemental powers, though would have liked to see them change more with each upgradation process. The game also lacks some basic outfit choices for the main character and the drone unless you buy extra skin packs. I also noticed that the clothes of the character do not get wet or dirty, which takes away a bit of realism. Even with these small issues, the variety of locations and the way the world changes as you move through the story kept me hooked until the very end. I have some tips for you if you decide to play. I recommend using relics that help you get health back when you defeat enemies. If you use the right buttons to heal while you deal damage as the game instructs you to do in the early tutorials, you can become almost impossible to kill. You should also try different weapons to see which one fits you best, as every weapon plays differently, especially in terms of dealing damages and attack speed. Be careful when you confront level 3 monsters because they are much stronger than the others, so double check that your loadout and weapons are strong enough to deal with them. Also, make sure to finish your side tasks before moving the main story forward, or you might fail them as few of them have certain points in the story. Overall, I really had a great time exploring every corner of this game, and I think the strong ending sets up a great future for a sequel. With deep themes of human suffering and a world that truly respects your intelligence as a player, this journey is one you will not soon forget. The final overall score for Hell Is Us is 90%. This game is the pinnacle of a single player experience. Thank you so much for watching my review today. I truly appreciate your time and your support for the channel. I hope this breakdown helps you decide if this adventure is right for you. Take care of yourselves and I will see you in the next one. Keep watching and keep playing. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like the video, comment or subscribe for more. It really helps the channel out and I truly appreciate it a lot. Take care, keep watching and keep gaming.